Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey yo, what's up everybody, and welcome to the movie review for Justice League here on Two Player Co-op. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
I sound like Batman without doing a voice. I sound like a sick Batman. Yeah, I'm under the weather. It is what it is. We just saw Justice League, and so we're going to talk about it. So this is how it works when we do movie reviews on here. We're going to spend the first few minutes. I don't think we're going to talk about this without spoilers for very long, but the first few minutes will be spoiler-free. When we switch over to spoiler talk, we will let you know. We will give you all the warnings in the world of the warnings so that you don't have spoilers. Cool? Cool. Justice League, Sean. Spoiler-free thoughts.
Yep.
Talk. Our one prop for today.
So, I will have to expand a bit later when we can actually talk spoilers.
Of course.
But it was pretty good.
I thought it was pretty good. I liked it.
In the beginning, I looked at my watch and I would say it was, I think, because I don't remember exactly when the movie started, but I think it was around
7:15.
maybe 45 minutes in that I was like, okay, just what's happening here? Like,
It was moving.
This is not very good. Like, what? The timing just seemed very off for a number of reasons that I'll get into later, but it started very weak, and then I thought it ended very strong.
The rumors were
Overall, I say, yeah, that probably has to do with all the reshoots and all that. It
well,
just kind of,
and WB, so there was the mandate from WB that this had to be under 2 hours. But what all the rumors online are saying is that Zack Snyder's movie was actually, it's BVS all over again. It was 2.5 to 2:40, and they cut it down to 2. And I think where they took all the footage out was like the first, like you said, half hour or so from again, we're not going to do any spoilers, but everything at the beginning where they're meeting everybody and you're setting it up and you got to find this guy and find that guy and blah, 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 blah. That was just like bang, 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 bang. Like even the very first scene of the movie was like, what? Why is that there? And
Yep.
How did he know? And
yeah.
so we'll get into that in spoilers, the spoiler section.
But I'd say overall, 8 out of 10.
It's kind of how I feel.
Below Wonder Woman, above BVS, probably overall above Man of Steel. I don't know.
I don't know where it is in relation to Man of Steel because Man of Steel did not have these issues with stuff getting cut. Man of Steel was about 2 hours and 20 minutes. It was a full Superman movie. You might not have liked it as a Superman movie, but it was a full Superman movie. This, you can tell they definitely cut a lot of stuff out.
Yeah.
That being said, I think I'm around an 8 out of 10. I was texting Rasan. Rasan can't be here with us anymore because he's in Austin, RIP. But he's like, dude, you hate Suicide Squad and you hate BVS. I'm like, no. I don't hate BVS. I do hate Suicide Squad, and I hated it from the beginning. So he's like, you'll hate this in a couple days. I'm like, no, I don't think I will. I don't think I will. So let's talk about stuff we can talk about without spoilers. What'd you think about the new guys? Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg.
I would say all in all, okay, Aquaman, exactly what I thought.
He was Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and it was awesome.
Cyborg, I actually liked better than I thought I would.
Same.
I still don't really care about him. I know we're not here to talk about it, but it almost reminded me of Thor in that I went into it just not really caring about it, but then by the end I'm like, all right, I like him. He's cool. Flash is more or less what I thought he was going to be. I kind of went back and forth a couple times. They came very close to overdoing it with him. Like literally every single thing he said was like a joke, and it's like, okay, like
I would also
for the most
say,
part I liked him, but they were right on that edge of just going too far.
I would say that's for the whole movie though too. I think they
shoehorned in a lot of jokes
where there were a lot of times where it worked, but it was like, okay, I get it. You're trying to lighten the tone, guys. I get it.
But for the most part, I think they got that right.
Yeah,
they got it more right in this one than they have before. It was similar in that they were shoving the look how we can be lighthearted like down our throats.
Yeah.
But like you said, 80% of it I think worked. It was
Yep.
the right. It didn't feel forced. It didn't. It was good. I was pleasantly surprised with that actually.
What else can we talk about? We can talk about this without spoilers. What did you think about Steppenwolf? That dude is all CGI.
Okay.
I mean, we knew he was going to be all CGI.
I'm guessing it's Steppenwolf. When you were talking to me about the reviews and how they said bad CGI, I'm guessing that's Steppenwolf.
The other thing they point out with the bad CGI was Cyborg, and I didn't think he was that bad looking. Like, yes,
think
he's
he was
very
fine.
pointy and stuff, and there's a
Yeah.
part at the end that whatever, but the CGI
I thought
and the
he was
stuff
fine.
and the stuff that they've shown in trailers, the Calamity, that was just weird, like Calamity Ganon
Yeah.
stuff.
No, that's what I thought.
That was like, whoa, this looks like I did it. The thing that bugs me about Steppenwolf, I mean, yeah, he's a bad villain, but like everybody, again, I know, it's me, I get it. Everybody says that Marvel has a problem with villains because they do. And people just kind of mention it. And yeah, Thor Ragnarok was awesome, and the villain sucked. And Iron Man was awesome, but the villain sucked. And Age of Ultron was pretty good, but the Ultron sucked. Like, but this, everybody's like, worst villain ever. Oh, it sucks because
I didn't know the first thing about Steppenwolf. I will say that, but it is not at all. I pictured him being more like Doomsday, not to that extent, but I thought he was more of just like a devilly looking like creature with horn. But he's just a guy.
He's supposed to be a guy.
He's more or less just a guy.
I thought
He kind of looked like Snope. That's not his name.
Snope.
Smoke.
Noob Saibot?
Snoke.
Oh, okay.
Not Snope. He kind of like this weird thing going on with his face. I don't know. Maybe it's just the bad CGI. But
I will
just-
say there were times when they zoomed in on his face, I was like, okay, I can see how this guy kind of resembles a person, and his lips are moving right and everything. But I'm like, they screwed this up. I don't like the way they did Steppenwolf. We saw him in the trailers, but Steppenwolf in the comics and stuff, for the most part, is a man. He looks like me with a lot more muscles and stuff, but he's a man with the helmet and the armor and stuff like that. But he will just kick your ass.
Yeah.
This was just Doomsday with a helmet on and an axe. Like,
I was gonna say they should have. I think they got it where they should have flipped him.
yeah.
I think when you have Batman versus Superman, which was pretty epic, and holy crap, we're getting Batman versus Superman. But then you take that up a notch, and you go up to Justice League.
Yeah.
But your villains kind of did this. I think you should have had Steppenwolf, and now move on to Doomsday.
Or I was tweeting Ernie back and forth earlier that I almost wish they would have just said, F it, we're jumping to Darkseid off the bat. Because we are not guaranteed to get another Justice League movie in this universe. They're not going to do Darkseid for Man of Steel 2. If we get Darkseid, and they mentioned him in this, which I was at least happy to hear that. We're not going to get him unless we get another Justice League movie, and there is no guarantee. God, I hope this movie makes at least what Batman vs. Superman did and Wonder Woman. I hope 800, 900, if it gets to 1 billion, which I don't think it will now because the critics' reviews are bad again.
I don't think
which
it
I
reaches
think they're
Wonder
way
Woman.
off.
I don't think.
But BVS got around 870.
Wonder Woman had all the good reviews, and it was Wonder Woman.
Right. But Batman
And I
vs.
don't think
Superman,
that stopped many men from seeing it.
Batman
and it
versus-
probably encouraged a lot of women to see it. I don't
Yeah.
think this brings in. What did Wonder Woman end up at?
830. I think.
Yeah, I don't think
Batman
it's
vs.
getting that
Superman
high.
was 880. Suicide Squad was 700 something.
Oh, really? Well, all right, maybe.
The thing is, I don't know. So yeah, he was a generic villain. He wants to get the mother boxes, and then I don't know what he was doing. Basically, what Zod did. We're verging into not really at all what Zod did. That's not spoilers, but we're gonna have to go into spoilers here pretty quick.
Yeah.
Basically, like Zod wanted to turn Earth into Krypton. This guy wanted to turn Earth into hell.
Land.
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, let's just do final spoiler-free thoughts, and then we can spoil the hell out of this. So you said about an 8 out of 10.
I give it about an 8.
I think I'm about there.
I think the first third of the movie was about a 4, and the last 2/3 were a good 9.
Yeah.
So I'll skew towards the better, average it out. I'll call it an 8.
Yeah. I'm very interested to see the
Ultimate
Blu-ray for
Edition.
this and get the Ultimate Edition. I will say this, I think it's time for them to move on from Zack, because I think Zack clearly has a vision for these movies whether you like them or don't, clearly WB is not on board because they would let him make the movie he wants to make. Now, they would never put out a 3-hour cut of Batman vs Superman because you reduce your showing so bad you don't get the ticket revenue. I get all that. But to take this and just say, no, it's got to be 2 hours, like there's something going on there. And I'm, as much as I did like this movie, I think I'd probably say, I feel like I'm on like the high end of 8 out of 10 and you're on the low end of an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
But I like this movie. I love the character. Batman was great again, of course. We're not going to talk, Batman was great. But just seeing it the whole time, I'm like, damn it, Ben. Why? Why don't you want to do this? You're not too old. You could get another 3, 4, 5 movies out of this with him.
Yeah.
Like, he's so good as Batman and Bruce Wayne. I don't know. I wish we had more Batman in this. That's the one thing I will say. Because Batman vs. Superman was basically a Batman movie. This was... I would say just about everybody got equal screen time. Aquaman probably got the least, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, I get Aquaman's probably the least, but it was almost more of a Wonder Woman cyborg movie. I don't know.
They're definitely veering
It
towards...
was pretty even, but...
Towards Wonder Woman taking over and stuff.
Yeah.
All right, let's just call it there. That's the end of no spoilers. It's time for spoilers. We're now going to talk spoilers. This is where the spoilers begin. If you haven't seen Justice League yet, go see it. Come back around the, 11, 12-minute mark and start up and listen to the rest of this discussion. Spoilers are starting right now.
You've been warned.
Spoilers. All right.
Okay, I want to get back to what I was saying.
Okay.
I'm kind of curious. So you actually said kind of the opposite of what I was thinking. I felt like, well, okay, I guess I see what you're saying. I was almost gearing towards the first part of the movie almost seemed too long. It just seemed like it was just going on and on. I'm like, okay, what are we accomplishing here? I know you got to build the team and all that, but then the whole Steppenwolf thing kind of just...
He just shows up.
Well, yeah, like what? Why did he? I know at one point he was like, when he was talking to the mother box, oh, I see why you waited this long to summon me, and
remind me to talk about scenes that were not in the movie that were in the trailer.
Yeah,
no Kryptonians,
when the Kryptonian
no lanterns.
died, and yada yada.
They changed that, yeah.
But like, he's just like, I'll take this.
I'll take this, and I'm going back.
And then he leaves.
What?
And he found the first two, and then but he can't find the one the humans dug in a hole somewhere. Like, why is it so much more difficult to find that?
And the other thing that I'm still confused about, because in Batman vs. Superman, they made it seem like Cyborg became the mother box became Cyborg. Like,
right, but they're still there.
But it's still there, but now it's the control vessel or whatever they called it.
Yeah.
No, that was weird. What I meant was it just seemed like, maybe it didn't seem like it was too short. It seemed like there was just a lot of jumping around.
Yeah, it was just kind of all
like it was
over
cut
the place.
Weird. Like
I think if we watch the extended cut and right up until I don't have to worry about spoilers anymore.
Yeah.
When Soups comes back to life, that was probably right around that 45-minute mark, I think, where I was like, okay, here we go. If the extended edition pushes out to like an hour and 15 minutes into the movie, I'm going to be like, okay, that's. I feel like that's going to be too long.
But that's what I think it is. I think that's where they cut everything was that.
But
first
maybe
half.
it'll flow better. I don't know. But and then you bring Superman back to life, and it's this epic thing, and then boom. And then he's just like walking around by himself. I'm like, well, that kind of died, and then it built right back up.
Oh my god!
And then the climax of that, then Steppenwolf again is like, yoink!
You don't even see him.
The last one.
You don't even see him. He's like, oh, guys, boop. I cannot wait till the how it should have ended guys do their version of this because he's gonna go, oh, and he's just gonna
literally picture him doing like a Homer Simpson, yoink, and he just like that's it. But
so let's talk about that. Superman's back. We knew he was going to be in the movie. Did you notice the mustache? I noticed it twice.
Where I noticed it was the opening scene.
The cell phone camera.
His face just looked weird. I'm like, oh, there's your bad CGI.
Yeah.
And then was it when he was talking to Lois in the field or something? There's some other close up of him where I'm like, you can kind of see.
It was when he was racing the Flash in the post credits. When they were talking, I was like, "Oh, that's
is
a
that what it was?
reshoot right
Okay.
there." I kept waiting to see it. One thing that I noticed, so God, we're gonna get off track, but it's fine. So the scene in the cornfield, they completely faked us out in the trailer. It was not a dream. That was it. They just changed the
Right.
So that's a yes.
Yeah.
So that's one of the scenes that was different. There's no the whole no Krypton, that awesome speech that Steppenwolf gave. No Kryptonians, no protectors, no Kryptonians, no lanterns. This world's mine for the taking. It's not even there. He just says, "Oh, the Kryptonian's dead, so this world's got no hope. Here I come." Boop.
Not to mention, what's his name's, Alfred's thing, like, oh, you're back or whatever. Like
That wasn't in there.
Yeah,
And it wasn't in post credits. It wasn't
so
there.
then I started thinking, holy crap, are they gonna bring in Green Lantern or something?
They
And
showed a
that's-
Green
That's
Lantern.
what I'm saying. And then I'm like, holy crap, maybe that. And then it just never even was in the movie.
I wanted,
well,
I wanted to reach across Nick and just start freaking hit you on the leg. When I saw that Green Lantern, and he comes out with like a huge hammer or something, and then the ring starts flying, and
then
they
you
grab
see it just,
oh
and then
my
it just flies away.
God, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I got so nervous when Bruce was talking at first about the mother box and life. What I started thinking before I saw this, so when I watched the Ultimate Cut the other day of BVS, at the end when the priest is giving the speech, the whole speech, and maybe it's something from the Bible that I'm not aware of, but it's about how and the earth will give or the dirt or something will give life to its dead. And I'm like, oh God, before we even saw the coffin, the dirt on the coffin, he was saying Superman's going to come. We knew he was going to come back to life, but I was
Right.
like, maybe he's just like, maybe Bruce, I did think, I was like, maybe Bruce is going to dig him up. So I was close. I thought Bruce is going to dig him up. He's going to give him a black suit. Oh, there was no black suit.
That's the other thing I just realized. Like, I mean, he's legit dead, and they bring him back to life. It's not like he was alive the whole time. He was dead. So what was with the dirt? Like, right at the end, like, you're dead. You're dead, unless he wasn't dead yet, and then he died after that.
I just think I think sometimes what a lot of people I've heard about Zack Snyder is that, and I'm not a film expert, and this should seem obvious, but like what a lot of people say is he concentrates so much. He's a visionary director.
Yeah.
He's all about cool shots and great action sequences and all this other stuff, but he doesn't like. Not everything connects the way it should. Like, yeah, why did the dirt raise up if he was just dead as a doornail?
right.
I got nervous when so Bruce dug him up. I thought he was going to go bring him to, like, we were going to find out that he put him in a sunroom or something, something to get the red sun just radiating out, and he'd have the black suit just like in the comics, except Bruce would bring him there instead of, I don't even remember who did it in the comics. So when they brought him into the ship, I'm like, oh my God, we're doing Batman versus Superman again. Like, they're bringing him into the ship. They're putting him into the water like Lex did with Dead's Eye. But now we're doing it with Dead's Superman.
Yeah.
And then the whole Flash thing was cool. That was really drawn out, though. It's like, okay, we know he's going to touch it when it touches the water. Just get there and do it. And then, pew! Like, there wasn't any, at least there was no Genesis Chamber stuff with, like, Doomsday. But once Superman landed, and I knew when I saw the trailers from promotional stuff, I saw there's so many times you saw that picture of the four of them standing there. You could tell they were looking at the Superman monument. I was like, and I'm not the only one, but I said, that's when Superman comes back.
Yeah.
Now, I thought they were going to be looking at him up in the sky and in the black suit or something, but he wasn't. But that whole thing when he turns around, and I'm like, oh my God, they're about to have to fight Superman again. But now he's pissed. He's not just like, Bruce, Martha. Like,
That's
no,
what when he was going crazy, I'm like, if Batman says,
Martha. I was gonna walk out. If he did it, I was gonna walk out.
I thought they were going
But
to do it.
it was so well. The fight was so, and it made me think like, God, I still wish we'd get a Bizarro or Superman is taken over by Darkseid or something.
That may be the closest we'll get to it.
Yeah, but
that fight.
that whole fight was so well done. The fact when Flash is running and Superman's like this and Flash is like, oh no, and then he just turns around and he, but yeah, the end of the fight when he gets Batman up. And he's. I was like, in my head, I'm thinking he's gonna say it, and he says, "Do you bleed?" I was like, I think I just started hitting the chairs. I was going crazy. And then he throws Batman down. He's like, "Yeah, a lot of stuff's bleeding.
Yep. Something's
bleeding." So that was great. Going back to one of the things I talked to almost about in the spoiler-free section, the opening. I'm still so lost. Was Batman trying to? I guess he was, because they said they're in the world. They've been spotted everywhere. He was trying to get a parademon to find him, right?
I don't know. Who was the guy? Was he just a bad guy?
The
Or
guy
he,
was
like,
just a
in on
guy.
it?
He was just bait. He was just bait because the guy was legitimately scared, and these things can smell fear. I do have to groan at that. That's maybe it's in the comics, and I just didn't know, but they can smell fear. Come on, that's stupid. So he's hanging him off the ledge. He looks at a thing on it. I rubbed my eye or something, so I don't know what happened then. But I saw he looked down at his arm, and there's like beep, 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 beep. He had like the thing was telling him that a parademon's coming or something.
It was basically like a little I
Yeah,
guess.
and then it just shows up. So I guess he was using the guy as bait. But another thing that they cut out of the trailers. There was a thing they showed in the trailers, maybe the first one, when they're not in the silo, but when they're in the thing in Gotham. When he gets the Metal Gear Batman thing, there's a scene in one of the trailers where Batman is fighting the parademons hand to hand, and he goes like he blocks one, and he comes through, and he goes, wha-bam, and he breaks the parademon's arm, like shatters it off. He didn't fight these guys hand to hand. He's just sitting there with a gun going pew. Pew, pew, and I'm like, what? Where did this? And I remember hearing something, maybe it was just rumors and it wasn't a report, that there was going to be a scene in this that rivaled the warehouse scene, and it was going to be Batman fighting parademons.
Yeah, there's none.
There
of
was
that.
nothing that came close. There's no action sequence in this comes close to the warehouse. That is still the best Batman live action scene I think we're ever going to get.
Yeah.
I'm hogging all the time. What do you want to talk about?
Okay, I just got some random questions. Let me see if I remember them all. They're just kind of rhetorical questions, unless there are really answers. The Flash.
Yes.
He's got this fancy suit that's made of such and such, so he doesn't burn up when he goes really fast. But then he keeps grabbing people and just, and then why do they don't have a suit? How come they're going just as fast as the Flash?
Yeah. If they didn't make a big deal about Bruce saying that, I wouldn't have thought of that. But I was thinking the same
Right.
thing. Like, shouldn't they be burning up on re-entry or whatever is
Right,
happening
yeah.
when he's doing this, like the Speed Force thing? No, I agree.
What else? There's something about this guy, and I'm trying to think of what. I
Mara
don't
was in there for 2 seconds. Apparently, they're not together. That's what I was confused about. She's Queen Mara.
Oh, yeah.
He's the king of Atlantis. But they're like, hey, you took a tough shot there. And she's like, yeah, well, your dad would be so disappointed. And they're clearly not together. So I
Right.
don't, and I thought that the Aquaman movie was going to be an origin movie, kind of like they did Wonder Woman. But Mara's in it. So I'm just maybe it's not going to end up being an origin movie or something. I'm very confused about that.
The other thing, going back to just the flow and the timing of it all, it just seemed like, I've got the 3 boxes and I put them together, and now I'm, doing all this thing, and I've got my big shield thing, and it's covering this
Batman
whole
just
area.
blows it up.
Yes,
He's
And
just like,
"All
I
right,
got
I'm gonna pick it
rockets."
up. Boom, and it's gone. Like, what? It just seemed like the whole flow of the movie was just weird. Like, they took forever to build certain things up, and then they just did other things like really quickly. It just seems like, and I get it, it just seems like they're trying to do too much too fast.
Too furious. I also think that they focused more. The thing they nailed on this is the team and their interactions and how they got together and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
That they nailed. And it seems like they just kept trying to get to the next scene where they could have a funny joke or they could have a big fight.
It seemed very rushed, but then also very... Yeah. It's the only movie I can think of where it felt simultaneously rushed and drawn out. It's just very strange. And maybe the Ultimate Edition or whatever will...
But we
clear it
shouldn't
all
have
up,
to
but-
say that.
No, we shouldn't, but... Yeah.
Post-credit scenes. So the first
Yeah.
one was just hilarious.
Oh,
Other than the damn...
that's the other thing.
Other than the stupid mustache.
I love Superman. I love Henry Cavill as Superman. I don't know what happened when he was dead, but this is the best version of Superman.
No, 100%.
He
Not only
has
that,
like a personality now.
his suit's very blue too.
It's just
Why
like,
doesn't did his suit heal? Never mind.
Yeah, but
Yes.
I loved him in this.
This is the Superman we should have had. As much as I love Man of Steel, this Superman, I am so excited for the next Man of Steel movie, especially since Affleck's probably gone, and I don't know what there's rumor about. Jake Gyllenhaal is just going to get recast, and is going
Batman?
as Batman is just going to take over. Which I think if they want to keep this universe going, which I hope they do, I think they should just recast him, make some kind of inside joke like, "Oh, you've lost weight," or "Man, you're looking younger," or something like that, and then just move on. Like, I want Affleck to play Batman. If he doesn't want to play Batman, then we got to move on. Recast him. I don't want to do Flashpoint to where the whole DC universe gets reset and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But you are right. This is the Superman that we needed.
Yep.
He's blue. He's happy. He had his freeze breath for the first time.
Yep.
I don't know how. I guess he got those powers when he was resurrected.
And his X-ray vision and like,
Yeah.
it's just he was. Oh God, yeah, they need. And I'm glad we got more of him than I was thinking we were gonna get.
Yeah, we got. I mean, we didn't get. I mean, he was in it for about an hour. We didn't
That's
get an
the other
hour
thing.
of him, but
So I know this is kind of the big negative drawback to Superman in general. He basically. Why do we need a Justice League when you've got Superman?
when you got a Superman, yeah.
I mean, he basically single-handedly kind of did, but certainly could have just destroyed Steppenwolf by himself.
Yes.
Like, he could have just done his laser beam, just taken out all the parademons, just gone taking Steppenwolf down by himself. Like,
I think that's
you
why.
can't not have Superman there, but it's like, how do you make it realistic?
Well, that's why you have him go save the people. And then you have Cyborg do all the work to get the mother boxes apart, so it gets to where Superman can actually pull them. Because Superman couldn't pull them apart when it's just a mother box. Like, Cyborg had to do his Cyborg. And Booyah is his catchphrase, so when he said Booyah at the end, that was awesome.
Oh, I thought that was corny. I didn't know that was
No,
like
that's his Teen Titans thing.
Well, I get it.
I love this Superman. And he's like he smiled. In the next movie, we won't have to worry about the mustache. That's good.
Yeah.
His interactions with Lois. I just still wish that was one thing I could tell that they reshot. There was at one point Lois's hair in this movie, and I feel like talking about Rick Flag and Suicide Squad. Lois's hair goes from being like all orange, a very deep orange, to other scenes where it's like orange with like blonde highlights at the front. Like you can tell like something's off there. I've got Aloy's hair. I don't know. I got issues. What else? I loved I will say the big action set pieces in this, however many there were. So let's see, there was the Batman thing in the beginning wasn't much. It was just a fight. But then you had the Amazons fighting him when he came down to boop and take it. That was cool. That was well done. I didn't like to see the horses die. Really well done. I liked that. Oh, we found out what that was in the trailer where the guy starts transforming. Like, there were some people saying might be Steppenwolf transforming into a new god. No, it's just him transforming into a parademon. So the Amazonian fight was cool. The fight in Gotham in the thing was cool. You had the Metal Gear. You had Steppenwolf grabbing a rocket and just shooting it back. That was pretty cool. Aquaman had his Wonder Woman moment from Batman vs Superman when he came in and did the but I did not go like I did when because that'll never be topped. But that
I
was
like that
cool.
we didn't get that in this movie. I mean, the music was there, but it was like
it
different.
was so subdued and different when she was in the bank. Whatever.
Yeah.
It was, why was
Just
that
didn't
a
need
thing?
to be. Yeah.
And her standing on Justice, I'm like, okay, or whatever that was, the scales of justice or whatever. I'm like, you're just up there, just chilling. You're like, oh, good, there's a bank robbery. Let me go down there.
Yeah.
I like how they brought up Steve Trevor and stuff like that. Okay, so that was a cool set piece, and then the final. The Superman fight versus the Justice League was freaking
That was the best.
incredible. That was amazing.
Yeah.
And then the last one was cool. Batman's shooting the parademons, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. No, the Justice League versus Superman was actually the best fight of the whole thing. Yeah. I would still love if I started thinking, and I can't wait till interviews start coming out after everybody's seen the movie. I went back to Batman versus Superman. Bruce, Lois is the key. Lois is the key. What? I'm too early. I'm too early. It was always her. You were always right about him. Something like that. Lois is the key. Lois is the key. I wonder if now they're retconning that because we're never going to get that nightmare situation. Bruce knew what his contingency plan had to be, was Lois is the key to getting, if Superman does go crazy, Lois is the key to bring him back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What else? What else we got?
Well, before I interrupted, you wanted to get into the post-credit scene.
Oh yeah, post-credit scene. So the first one was just Superman racing Flash. That was well done. Didn't need to me there, but it was fun. Again, it was a different Superman. Like, I'll play around. Let's race. Okay, we'll go to the West. It's that way, dumbass.
It was very. I know you're gonna hate this. It was very Marvel.
That was a Marvel post-credit scene.
Absolutely.
But then we get to the mother of all post-credit scenes. Yeah. But where do the mother boxes go now?
Yeah.
Darkseid's just gonna be like, "Damn it, you killed my uncle.
No,
Here I
he's gonna
come.
pop in the
Yeah,
original
I'll take this and this and this." So the guy opens. I'm like, before Lex turned around, I was like,
That's not Lex.
"That doesn't look like Lex."
That is
And then
too
I'm like,
old
"Ha,
of
ha,
a
ha, ha,
head."
that's weird." I thought it was gonna be Michael Chiklis or whatever his name is. And then then they cut to the scene where there's a dude sitting on a boat driving, and you can see the two katanas, and you see the little tassel flailing. And I'm like, oh my God, they're doing it. And then he gets off the boat, and there's effing Deathstroke, and he gets in, and then there's Luthor sitting there. He's like, oh yeah, I hear our God is back, and whatever, and blah, blah, blah. And then there's Deathstroke, and he's, I think we need to form our own league. And he takes his helmet off, and there's Joe Manganiello. He's actually Deathstroke. Gray hair and everything. I think he called him Slade. He didn't call him Deathstroke. And I just started hitting the chair. I think I might have shrieked a little bit. I don't know. But like in my mind, I didn't think there was any chance of him being there because Ben Affleck's The Batman was going to be Batman v Deathstroke. And then we know everything that happened with that. And now the word came out a few weeks ago that they're going to do a standalone Deathstroke movie, which I'm still interested to see how that can be done. So I didn't think there was any chance this would, and I don't even know why it's there or if they even have a plan.
I think they're flying by the seat of their pants right now.
I think that's probably the post-credit scene that Affleck said, "Hey, put this in for my movie," and WB was like, "Oh shoot, we didn't take that out." But seeing him as Deathstroke was awesome. There's been like Injustice Leagues and the Brotherhood of Doom or whatever they call it. There's been a lot of bad guy team ups that aren't Suicide Squad. That are like the A team, not the B team of bad guys. So maybe we do get a Justice League 2, and it's all these guys. But again, like going back to your point, when you've got a Superman just goes, okay,
you're dead.
But he can't because he doesn't kill people. So that's the one thing that's always there. I don't know how they do it, but what did you think about seeing Deathstroke and Luthor?
I mean, it was awesome. It was a great way to end it, but like you, I'm just confused, I guess.
Yeah.
Is it for
Justice League? Is it
I
for
feel
the
like Justice
Batman?
League
Is it for Deathstroke?
I feel like Justice League doesn't work if these are your villains. Justice League needs a
Darkseid
creature. Yeah, you can't just have people be the bad guys because you have Superman. Unless you kill him again.
They can't ever
But then
kill him
if
again.
they're not doing the Batman, I don't know.
But then
I hope it's not just for standalone movie.
Yeah.
Deathstroke standalone movie, I mean.
No, I know.
If that happens, great, but I hope that's not all that's building up to.
Yeah, then I wonder, like, are they going to do a Teen Titans? Because there's a Nightwing movie coming. We've already got Cyborg. When it's Teen Titans, it's always Deathstroke is the one fighting the Teen Titans. Are they going to do that? I wouldn't think so. I don't think that really works on live because Teen Titans is so like you thought this was shoehorning humor in. Teen Titans is.
I came across it once and I'm like, I need to watch this. And I couldn't watch it for more than a minute. I'm like, I can't. This isn't even.
I don't like it at all.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Anything else? I think we covered it all.
I had a bunch of stuff running through my head when I was watching the movie. I'm like, God, I wish I could.
I know.
take
I
notes,
want to
'cause
take
I know
my
I'm
phone
gonna
out, but I'm
forget
like, I don't
everything,
want to
but-
write it down because then I'm not paying attention.
I don't know. That's probably it. That's most of it. Anyway.
I do think, as I'm thinking through this, I think I was kind of disappointed for the first half or so of the movie until Superman showed up, and then it just it took off from there. And again, the whole Superman fight was just amazing. But
I think it goes back to what I was saying about they're just trying to do too much too quick. It happened in Batman versus Superman. It's like, okay, we have Superman. Now let's do Batman versus Superman. Here's Batman's origin story. Let's get Wonder Woman in there. Bring in Lex Luthor. And now it's like, okay, now we have all those people. But all right, now they got to meet Aquaman. They got to meet the Flash. They got to meet Cyborg. And then we got to come up with a story to bring them all together. And it's like Avengers did that over like 6 movies, not 2. Like it's a lot. And it's just, but I think they're pretty well established now, and if the whole thing falls apart with Affleck and whatever, then it's all for nothing. But I think these 2 movies, more so Batman versus Superman, suffered a little bit to get there, but I think they're there now. Everybody's established. Yes. They've brought the team together. They don't need to assemble it again. Like,
yeah, and especially with them saying they're going to put a focus on the standalone movies being more standalone and not trying to make everything intertwined.
And then the thing at the end with when they were, right at the end, and Batman's like, yeah, big table with 6 chairs. Oh, yeah. And then Wonder Woman was like, and, room for more. And then they're like, room for more. Like,
Lantern.
I assume.
It's got to be, yeah.
It's got to be more than that. Who else was in like Justice League over the years?
Though that's usually that. It's Lantern is the big one that's missing.
Yeah.
The other thing though, I was glad they did, because there's so much that happened in this universe. Like, that's the one problem that you have where you're starting, for me at least, when you're starting with an old Batman is there was 2 great movies hinted at in Batman versus Superman that would have been better than Batman versus Superman, and we'll probably never get. And they might have been the same movie. Ha ha ha, joke's on you, Batman, the dead Robin suit, and the burned down Wayne Manor. What the hell happened with both of those?
Yeah.
And at least now he's got, so Superman is inspiring everybody. Bruce has hope again. He's gonna looks like he's gonna rebuild Wayne Manor, but is he? Because what about Affleck? What is happening?
Yeah. I don't know. It was, bottom line, it was very good.
I'm glad I saw it. I'm glad I never thought I would actually see a Justice League movie.
To me, it's like, I would want to watch it again, but not that the first 45 minutes were just brutal, but I just don't care to sit through that again. But after that, it was fantastic, I thought.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't think I'll see it in theaters again.
No, I don't think I will.
Now that you went, I went, the boys went, and Dad went. I mean, I'm not going to be like, Jess isn't going to go, hey, I want to go watch Justice League. It's like, okay, let's go. So there's nobody I'm going to go see it again with. I'll probably wait for the Blu-ray and hopefully the Ultimate Cut. But yeah, I liked it. I definitely liked it. I'm not as high as I was coming out of Batman versus Superman, unguidedly high, but I'm nowhere near as low or as high as I was coming out of Wonder Woman, which has stayed high. Not as low as I was in Suicide Squad. I think it is, I would say, the one thing I will say, and then we'll wrap up, I think Batman vs. Superman had a better story. Even with everything that they cut from the theatrical release and all the Africa stuff that they added that really didn't need to be there, it's still...
There wasn't really much of a story here.
It just fell apart.
If Superman didn't die at the end of Batman vs. Superman, I mean, who knows what this movie would have been, but like, the big thing was Superman's back.
He would have gone,
nobody cares about
you're dead,
Steppenwolf.
just Steppenwolf.
Like,
yeah. Well, Steppenwolf never would have showed up.
Well, that's true.
So this movie wouldn't have happened.
It's like without
according to
that,
Steppenwolf's logic.
It's almost like this was like it was like his one big origin story and not much else. Like, here's how the Justice League got together, and now they're together. But like, okay, nothing of consequence really happened there, other than Superman coming back to life.
And you just get to see them all as a team. And they didn't have the Avengers moment where the Avengers had that the most iconic shot in any superhero movie ever, where they're standing there on the street and the camera's circling around them. And I'm not saying you had to do that, but there was no moment. I mean, there was the moment where after they Steppenwolf he goes back to Apocalypse, and then they're just standing up there and they're like, yeah. It was cool to see the 5 of them up there, but I'm like, why are y'all standing up there now? Like, why are you up there? That's just weird. It's just you're standing up there so you can do a shot. It's like sometimes on WWE, you can tell people go nose to nose for a little bit too long just so they can get like pictures of it, and like for the video recap going into Survivor Series and stuff. It was kind of like, oh, that's this weekend. It's kind of like that. So Any other final thoughts you want to add? I'm glad I don't have this albatross hanging over me anymore. There's now it's just Star Wars, but I'm like, I love Star Wars. I know it's going to be good. I'm not worried about it at all. This was just like, God, this was almost stressing me out, especially when the tomato score came out today. Do you think the tomato score is way too low?
It's definitely too low. That's the other thing. That was one other random thought I had while watching it is, now it was somewhere after the 45-minute mark, but during the movie still. It almost didn't even feel like a Justice. I feel like Justice League should be like this huge, epic movie, like the Avengers, like Civil War, like the next Avengers will be. And honestly, what Batman vs. Superman was, or at least strived to be, it just seemed like it was, again, before it really got going, it just seemed like it was just a generic movie. It just seemed like there was not, like, this just doesn't seem like what I would expect a Justice League movie to be. Like, it was just like, it'd almost be like if the Avengers played out like the first Thor, where like you have this ensemble cast, but like nothing really, just what's happening, like nobody really cared. It was just like very blah. Like, it didn't feel like a Justice League movie. Yeah. In the end, it definitely did, but it probably was. Maybe it was even pre-Superman coming back to life that I'm like, this just doesn't seem like it's as epic as it should be right now.
Yeah,
but they corrected it.
The only other thing I have a problem with is the trailers again. While they didn't spoil,
I need to go back and watch the trailer again now.
They had so many. Another thing that wasn't in there is, remember when Bruce is standing there in the Batcave looking at like this hologram of Superman? That's not in there.
Oh yeah.
There's like a lot of, and not only that, but then the stuff that they did keep in, like the whole him meeting Arthur Curry at the beginning was all the exact same stuff that it was from Comic-Con like a year and a half ago or whatever it was. Like, really? That's all exactly the same. They didn't spoil Superman, which I'm still so happy that they didn't do that. But like Aquaman, if we hadn't seen him in the trailer surfing a parademon through a building, coming out and just doing this with his awesome hair, that would have been like, but I'm like, I know what he's going to do. I've seen this already. Damn it. They like so many of those things where, and it's not like, this isn't like Metal Gear Solid 5 where I watch these trailers over and over and over again. It's like, but it just, a lot of the moments were just, they were spoiled even though they were little moments.
Yeah. I do want to go back and watch it again, the trailer, not the movie, and just see like, oh yeah, where was that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what this was. Yeah.
8-9 minutes and just watch the three main I think there's been 3 main trailers that they did.
Yeah.
Or maybe 4. Maybe it was around 10, 11 minutes or so. But anyways, I think it's a good place to wrap it up. Justice League, probably better than Batman vs. Superman.
It is definitely better.
Better than Thor, for sure. Thor Ragnarok. Lots better than Thor Ragnarok. I can't say because I didn't watch it, but I know it's not better. It's fine. I do wonder where they go from here. Affleck, if you're watching this, come back. Don't leave us. Don't leave us with Jake Gyllenhaal. I don't get that at all. I know he's older and he did the fighting movie and stuff, but I'm like, I don't know that that's my Batman. But I thought that about Affleck too. So.
Yeah, who knows?
Justice League, definitely go see it. Obviously, if you're watching this far, I hope you've seen it already. But hit the comment section below. Let us know what you thought about Justice League. And yeah, till the next time, I guess, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.
Thank you for playing. Because you got to do it now, though. You got to do like gravelly with computer.
Almost electronic, yeah.
I share with you. God, if he would have gone, Martha.
And then he just stops his rampage.
And he's like, oh
yeah.
I would have walked right out. I would have walked out. All right. Bye, guys.